Today is the day. The day that will go in history as the day that was the most epic day to be the day. Ryan, I must be honest, it's not one of our best intros. So this is the time where we play the Marvel theme. We're wondering why today is the day, and if you don't know this, you should slap yourself across the face right now, because how can you not know this? Today is the worldwide release of Avengers Infinity War.
The day. This is truly the day. This is truly the day that the world stood still.
Right. Because this, no man, this is like, I don't know, Ryan, I don't know, in my lifetime, there has never been such hype and such a build for a movie like this one.
Something this big.
For me personally, never. So I've heard some people, they relate it to like Star Wars.
No, not as big.
For me, it's not as big because this is like for the last 10 years, Marvel has been making movies to lead up to this one movie, and now, two movies because it's part 1 and part 2. But anyway, this one, and it's going to be epic, man.
And it's crazy because obviously the Marvel, I'm sure like the comic fans, the heads that have been following, they've been looking forward to that. They knew it was coming,
right?
But we didn't really know it was sort of coming, and then the last couple of we've been like, wait a minute.
It's coming.
Yeah, because at the end of the first Avengers, you see Thanos, and it's sort of like, who's that? Oh, okay, credits.
Yeah, and then you forget about it.
And now we're like, wait a minute. We know who this guy is.
Right. And I can't believe it. For the last 10 years, man. That is like one heck of a build-up.
Yeah, it's been 10, eh?
It's been 10 years.
Only Marvel can do a 10-year build-up.
Right. And guys, I don't know, for in South Africa, so we have a TV package, if I can put like that, a TV station package called DSTV. And what they did was they made their own pop-up channel. So they had a Marvel pop-up channel that unfortunately finished on Sunday, which sucked. Because we were like just watching Marvel movies, like we'd get home and Marvel would be on,
Let's catch up.
Right?
Yeah.
And they literally made a pop-up channel, so a TV station dedicated its own pop-up channel to Marvel to build up to Infinity War. So this is huge, man. This is huge.
Exactly.
Yes, so if you don't know, you now know that today is the day. So go get to those movie houses, man. I mean, we're going, Ryan. We are so going.
Yep.
Tomorrow in South Africa is a public holiday. And yes,
tomorrow's the day.
The first thing to do in the day is, other than eat breakfast, is
my quiet time.
and that. After that, it's Avengers Infinity War.
In fact, you know what? I'll get ahead. Drink my water now.
Right, exactly. You see? So now he doesn't have to do that tomorrow morning. You see? So now we've like cleared up space tomorrow morning, so Ryan's got more time, yes. So, but guys, I don't know if you also know that with the whole Avengers Infinity War, so Marvel has basically created like this whole campaign around Thanos, who is the villain, demands your silence. So if you go on social media and you search the hashtag Thanos demands your silence, you'll actually see all about it. Marvel has basically asked you to remain silent.
To shut up.
So once you've seen the movie, don't go and spoil it for others. Don't spoiler alert. Don't do nothing.
Exactly.
Just keep quiet and let other people watch the movie.
Let them enjoy it.
So don't go, oh my god, we went to go watch Avengers Infinity War, and then this happened, and then that happened, and then Captain America, and then Iron Man, and then poof, and then like.
And the real person behind Thanos was actually this person.
What?
Yeah, that's something to think about. Maybe part 1 is he dies, but then there's actually someone else behind it. For part 2.
Right.
Imagine that's the truth.
Oh. Now, moving on to that, so like there's like a lot, so like the build up to Avengers Infinity War has been insane, man. And I was watching, because I follow a channel on YouTube that it's a movie channel, and basically one of the videos they did was basically that that they believe, it is to be said, I don't know how true it is, it might not be true, it might be true, but it is said that in the first 5 minutes of Avengers Infinity War, a major character is going to die, because they want to set from the beginning that this is the type of villain Thanos is. So you know how with other Avengers movies, like the villain comes, but none of the Avengers are taken out. It's like it's the Avengers assemble and then defeat. No, in the first 5 minutes, it is rumored that a major character will die. First 5 minutes, guys. That's short. A movie, and this movie is the longest Marvel movie. I think it's going to be something like, I'm sure I saw 156 minutes or something like that. So I think it's close on 2 hours 30 minutes or slightly over.
Good.
You're watching a movie that is over 2 hours and 30 minutes, and in the first 5 minutes of the movie, a character is dying. That must have sucked for that actor, man. I would have been angry.
Well, so far what I've seen from the interviews, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and what's his name from?
Chris Pratt.
Yes.
Guardians.
Are together and they're working together hard hours. So
that can't be them, man.
What?
Can I go on? So from what the video said, their take on it was that, now this breaks my heart to say this, man, but they say that they think the character that's going to die is Loki, because I don't know if you remember at the end of Thor Ragnarok, Thor and Loki and the whole of Asgard are on a ship, and next minute that you see this huge battleship coming towards them, and obviously you can see like their ship is like small, and then Thanos, now that's Thanos' aircraft.
This goes straight into Thanos, exactly.
So they're saying and you see Thor in the trailers, you see Thor did make it out because he meets the Guardians and all of that, but what happened to Loki type of thing. So I'll cry, man. I think I'd cry. I'd be like, no. Yeah.
I'll be like, oh shit.
No, sis, right? Loki's epic,
and then
man.
I'll go watch him
in Thor.
Well, that one as well, yeah. There's a few movies that
there is a few movies. But Loki's just an awesome character, man.
He's funny.
He is. Sometimes you hate him, sometimes you love him. Yeah, it's just one of those characters.
Completely different.
But yeah, that's quite intense, man. Right? So this movie is intense. It is epic. It is awesome. You have to go watch it. If you don't go watch it, slap yourself right now and then slap yourself again. You're going to watch it, right?
Sound effects.
Okay. Ryan didn't just slap himself, he was just, doing the sound effects. Yeah, so that's Avengers Infinity War. And guys, come on, let's just not spoil it for others. So, we won't spoil it when we do a show on it. We'll just be like, it was awesome!
Well, you wouldn't want it done to you. So.
Right? So don't do it to others, yeah.
So yeah, that was our show. That was awesome, and so join us.
Oh wait, and let me just say this. So if you're like feeling like, well, I haven't watched the other Marvel movies, so I can't go watch Avengers Infinity War. You go.
Sorry.
No, but go watch it. Don't now. Or okay, if you don't want to spoiler alert, go get all of the Marvel movies, watch all of them, and then go watch it. But I'm pretty sure they'll make it in such a way where you don't necessarily have to have watched everything to like understand.
They should, because people should.
But obviously there'll be things that you won't pick up on, because like all series, like you won't like for some people you'll be like, oh yeah, and then you'll be like,
but let's be honest, but then there'll be no depth to the story. You'll watch it to be big bad guy, they'll kill people, you'll be like, oh okay.
Yeah, you want the emotion.
Because let's be honest, throughout the past 10 years we've grown attached to certain characters.
And I mean, it's 10 years, eh?
I mean, that's what makes it so intense about the fact that some of the Avengers are going to die.
Yeah.
Or will they die?
Please, Lord, no.
So this now I haven't watched it as to today. I have not watched. I've not watched the Infinity War.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Very unfortunate.
Well, is it or isn't it?
Ah!
So I've got this thing, and the choice is still there. I've still got the. I need to sleep on this one, and I need to think nicely about this. There are two parts to this, Sashi, and Sashi totally disagreed with me. But then I spoke to someone else, Kevin, and then
Ryan made me mad. Let me start this conversation off, right? Ryan made me mad. So we're like sitting, working, chilling. Okay, not chilling, we were working. Like nothing's wrong. The day's going on beautifully. We were even finishing our own movie. So the day was beautiful. And next when Ryan says, I'm not gonna watch Avengers Infinity War until next year when part 2 comes out.
Because think about it now.
No, wait. Let's just all look at Ryan and be disgusted.
Marvel is watching this. I know that someone in Marvel is listening to it, and I know what your tricks are. You want to leave us thirsty for more. In other words, we're thirsty right now, but tomorrow you're going to give us salt water. We are going to feel even more, and I know it. By the end of Infinity War, it's going to be like, why did I even like? Now we have to wait a whole year for part 2 to come out. So,
Yes.
all I'm gonna do is I'm thinking not watch. And guys, if someone's with me, like Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. In fact, let's get something going here. Like a freaking a watch part 1, not watching part 1 until part 2 campaign or something like that.
Oh.
And then we watch part 1, we watch part 2, and we're satisfied.
No, but then, so Ryan was chatting to this guy, Kevin. Yeah, and he then said, which I was like, yes, thank you, Jesus, because he like just helped you. If you don't watch Avengers: Infinity War Part 1, all the movies after that, you're not gonna understand. So now you're not gonna be caught up. So you have to watch.
But it's a whole different phase. Although I suppose when you see certain characters there, you're like, oh, I guess he died.
Yeah, exactly. So now you're spoiling it for you.
It just sounds something cool to do in life, man.
I'm not waiting. I want to watch this movie, man.
Like something on my bucket list, you know what
Probably
I'm saying?
afterwards I'll be like, no, how could they do this to us?
Exactly.
But then it also builds hype for the second one.
And you'll be depressed, and I'll be like,
no, it will
something
build.
wrong?
No, but this is the thing: is Marvel's very good at keeping to their release dates. Like you haven't really with Marvel, you haven't seen like shaky release dates. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, and I'm sure if you're to search the release date for Avengers: Infinity War Part 2. So now you know. Okay, I have to wait a year.
It's 2019, early 2019.
Yes, but now you know, and Marvel won't let you down, because they know how much hype is around it. So you just have to wait, and then it'll come out.
They're gonna leave me thirsty for more.
Yeah, obviously, every movie leaves you thirsty for more, man.
No, but this is bad.
Nah.
Like, what if everybody gets killed, and then you see...
Yeah, the 3rd of May 2019.
Yes.
That's when Avengers: Infinity War Part 2 is coming out.
And what else does it say?
Doesn't say anything else.
See, it even shows the cost. So let's see. Look. I'll put down your
No, man, now we're spoiling it for ourselves. No, Ryan, we are not doing this until I've watched it. No, you're spoiling. We cannot spoil such things on live radio, man.
So actually, we've just met.
No.
But how true do you think it is?
I don't think they do that. Like, why would Marvel do this whole hell campaign and then like mess up on Google?
Because it's a loophole.
No. Shame. Okay, yeah. Ryan, we've gotten so carried away. So, guys, yes, basically, Avengers: Infinity War Part 1 is out today. Make sure you hit the cinemas and watch this movie. It is awesome.
And make sure your cinema has generators.
Yeah, ooh, that would suck,
maybe
man.
a power cuts out or something.
Right, that would suck.
Or maybe that's when the world ends.
But actually, today our show is not at all about Avengers: Infinity War, like at all.
Because we're talking about where
But basically, what we're going to do today is, like, what's the best thing to do is to look at the last Marvel movie that came out before Avengers: Infinity War, and that was Black Panther, which we haven't yet done our movie review on.
Yes.
So now, what a better day to do it than today, the day that Avengers: Infinity War comes out. Right. So we are going to be looking at Black Panther. Now this was quite a interesting, it was very interesting, man.
I enjoyed it.
It was So okay, let's start off with the basics. So box office. What was the box office? The box office for this film was a total of $200 million US dollars, which is quite a big budget. Obviously, I mean, it's the film before Avengers: Infinity War, and it's Marvel, and they've got like money from all the other Marvel movies that they've done. So it's quite a big, movie to make, and it makes sense that they spent that much. But now this is the crazy part, right? So their box office was insane. They made $1,324,656,634 US dollars worldwide. I don't remember ever having a box office that big. In fact, I know that they beat Avatar, which was do you understand what I'm saying? It was like biggest, it was the biggest. 1 billion. Over 1 billion. Yeah, from 200 million to over 1 billion. That's like 1,100.
It's pretty crazy, though.
Yeah. Now, it was insane, man. This box office was insane. However, there was quite an interesting vibe around this movie. Shame. Do you understand what I'm saying, Wayne?
I watched it at home. There was no vibe.
No, man. So obviously with this, it was like the first like a major black superhero type of thing, and obviously people like really drew on that. It's the first, like it was basically like this whole like Black Lives Matter, Black empowerment type of thing, which for me was like, guys, it's just a movie, man. What's wrong with you? What are you doing with your lives? So, like, yeah, for me, like, that whole thing, it did kind of put, like, an ugly turn on it, do you understand? Because they actually made it quite a racist, it was like a racial thing. And, like for me, movie, it has nothing to do with race. Like, it's just like, yes, it's Black Panther. Like, okay, cool, sweet, awesome. Like, there's never been a thing against the fact that the main character can't be black.
They didn't even film in Africa.
Right? And but we'll get to that. So that was the only thing. And then the second thing and I must be honest, there were like racial comments that did come through in the film. They didn't bother me. I wasn't like offended or anything like that, but it was just like, really guys, are we really stooping to that level? But anyway, and then the thing that freaked me out the most, I'll be honest, even more than the racial thing, like the racial thing I wouldn't have minded, like honestly, but the thing that freaked me out the most was the ancestral worship.
It was huge.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, even in the beginning, you've got what's the guy, the Black Panther,
T'Chaka.
Yes, T'Chaka.
Oh.
His main like bodyguard chick is sitting there like meditating.
Right.
I'm like, what? And then like just the whole thing of how the ancestral thing was mad. It was insane, man.
Forefathers.
Like it was really like that thing really bothered me.
And I'm sure you picked up how it was almost like whenever he went into the ancestral, like to the forefathers or whatever, it was almost like he was close to death. Because they covered him with the sand.
So they were like burying him.
He had to stop breathing. So it was almost like he was...
And you know what irritated me? Like when they showed the ancestors, they were like these like little Black Panthers in a grassland in Africa. And it's like, really?
If you guys know First National Bank, it's that tree.
No.
FNB tree.
It's true, man.
That's where they're hanging
Copyright.
out at. FNB, yeah.
But like, for me, it's like, really? Is that really what you guys are depicting after, like, when everyone dies? Is that really what's going to happen to us? Now, obviously, I don't believe that. Yeah. But it was like, really?
Yes.
I don't want to die then. Like, if that's me, like, after...
The grass was quite nice and the weather was it wasn't too hot, though.
No, man. So, yeah,
it looked like the grass was soft.
It's fine, man. I don't want to be in a grassland when I die. I must be quite honest.
But they were with the Black Panthers, Sashi.
They were the Black Panthers, right?
I guess so. And then they transformed.
Right, into and they were old. Like for me, when I picture dying, like I picture not being old. Like, I don't know if you picture yourself being this grandfather.
So they died as they were.
Yeah.
I wonder why people are committing suicide.
Right? Oh yeah, at a young age, guys, no, don't commit suicide. Just it's not gonna work.
We know
when
the
you
secret.
die. No.
We know the secret.
You see now, there's movies encouraging suicide. But yeah, that basically for me was the two complaints, if I can put it like that, for the movie. For me, the most though was the ancestral worship. I really didn't enjoy that. It was very unnecessary. It's like sex scenes. Like, what the hell, guys? Can we not just make movies like that are nice? Right. Like, no?
Yeah. I was watching that with my son, guys. Like, come on, seriously.
Right?
I jump up and like... Okay.
No.
Fast forward.
Don't think about that.
Yes.
That's not going to happen to you one day. Shame, man. You see now? No. Yes. So that's the box office. Now, character acting. I thought it was quite...
You know, the thing that gets me the most is the accents that they pulled off. Because I was thinking to myself, are they really like... Because accents is something that's not easy to come by. I mean, we've previously watched videos and we've commented on people with accents and how tricky they can be. Because we've had a lot of people pull off South African accents and we've had people pull off, obviously, African accents.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy thing to pull off.
Especially the South African accent. I don't know what it is about the South African accent.
And I honestly thought that every character was like African.
Yeah, no.
Except for, what was his name? That dude that came back.
The Michael, Heath Jordan, one. Yeah.
Which made sense because he grew up in America. He was living in the States. And then,
Michael B. Jordan's character.
Yeah, so but unlike they had that whole dude.
But they also had a lot of African actors, like obviously Chadwick Boseman, who was the main character, who was Black Panther. He wasn't. I think he's from Britain. I think he's British.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan obviously is American, but he was American. And then you have other names.
Where else has he played before? Because I recognized him.
Yeah. But like, so he's acted in Creed. Oh yes. Do you remember the movie Creed? It was a boxing movie.
No.
Similar to Rocky. Actually, it's the sequel form. In the sequel form, Creed, Rocky film.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Okay, that's where I know him from. I don't know where you know him from.
I'll have to look. But since the 1990s.
Yeah, he's been around, man. Now, so for me, honestly, if I could say the best accent goes to, it is so Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis was brilliant. That guy, he like, this is how good he is. So I'm sitting in the movie house, right? And I say to the people next to me, that guy's not South African. And they all looked at me and were like, what?
I can see you. Okay, I can see you. What do you actually know about Wakanda?
Shepherds, textiles, cool outfits.
It's all a front. Explorers searched for it for centuries. El Dorado, the Golden City. Don't you worry, when I get back to Joburg, when I lay low for a bit, I'll make sure both you guys get paid.
Oh, I ain't worried about the money, bro. I know you're good for it.
I sent you 6 short-range heat seekers and got a boat full of rusted parts. Now, you will make it right, or the next missile I send you will come very much faster.
They didn't believe me at first, and I was like, that guy's not South African. I think he's British as well. I'm sure Andy Serkis is British.
Yes, he is.
He is British. And his accent is so amazing that South Africans think he's a South African. Like, I remember even speaking to Ryan, and I remember you even saying, is that guy not South African?
Yeah.
I remember you commenting on that, and I was like, nope. That guy is an amazing voice artist, though. He is a very good voice artist. Like, he's one of the best voice artists, actors, basically, that I know currently in the movie sphere of life.
Well, he pulls off like any accent that you can throw.
And if you don't know who he is, think back to Lord of the Rings, the Schmeagol, that was Andy Serkis, and the voice was his. Think to War of the Planet of the Apes, Caesar, the main ape, that's him, and all of the sound effects, everything was him.
And of course, recently we spoke about Star Wars. We talk about the Emperor.
Yes.
So he played the voice of the
It was Snook, right?
That's right. Yes.
And then on top of that, Andy Serkis has done like King Kong and things like that, and now he's obviously in Marvel,
which we first met him in Avengers Age of Ultron.
Which was
and he was a true South African.
It was brilliant, man.
For real.
But the accents were all quite strong. There wasn't.
No, it was good.
Sometimes I think it is quite a difficult accent to pull off. I think so.
And they had to speak different African languages as well.
Yeah.
So just imagine that, because they pulled off. Actually, I suppose it's difficult for me to say. We would have to have someone that's Zulu or Xhosa to sort of comment on that, whether they really pulled off the
pronunciation.
Because that's a lot of research. That's learning a whole language and pronouncing it right, so you don't get laughed at, type of thing. You don't want someone walking there, Mjani, Kukona nowhere, Mjani.
For those of you who don't understand, Ryan is trying to sound African and he's not, which is the reason.
How are you?
Yes. So the character acting was quite strong, I think. For me it was.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, it was quite good.
Look. Obviously, the best people to sort of judge on that is because we are from Africa. So, if anybody wants to know how they did, well done, guys. That was brilliant. Yeah, like I said, I really felt like I was in Africa.
Now, coming back to that African thing, and Ryan, this is so true, they did not film anywhere in Africa.
And they didn't film anywhere in Africa.
Now, for me, I'm like, what? Really? The whole movie is basically based in in Africa.
In Africa.
And in Age of Ultron, you come here for like a 10-minute scene, and you come here and boom. But now you come to Black Panther, and nowhere in Africa are you found. What?
Not even in Africa.
What?
I thought at least some of those scenes, like especially in the beginning, well, sort of halfway through, no, actually it's towards the end of the film, you see where Black Panther now pitches up and they're like, oh, he's still alive, type of thing. And there's the grasslands and I thought at least those parts were like
in Africa
scenes,
Nope, none of it, man.
Because of the dry grass and all of that stuff, and then they just add all their CG stuff. Although, okay, look, the one thing I will tell you that I found ridiculous, and not ridiculous, it was really hard for me to accept it, was seeing like how these hovercrafts and this thing is busy hovering, like this thing's flying, whatever you want to, this shuttle thing was flying over the landscapes of Africa. Like it's just this like technology, I don't know, I was just like, okay, all right for the movie, right? I'm accepted for the movie. But it was just all this technology and all of this stuff, and they still dress Same.
Ah!
It was just so
And
weird.
actually, even like if you look at like their towns, it was still very like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But yet, like, you see the technology they got. They
Yeah,
got all
that's
this
true,
vibranium, and they got all this stuff, and it's like really awesome, and it's like cool, and then it's just, and obviously they had to keep the theme. But I don't know. It's just so difficult to gel together.
Right.
It's like a Porsche in the township.
Yeah, that's true, man. Like you have like steel and metal houses.
Exactly.
And what's it called? What's that thing? Zinc houses all around, and then you have your like this aeroplane.
Like, what is that doing? Yeah.
Right.
You know, if you watched, so what was it? It was Area. What was that South African movie about? Like
District 9.
District 9. You watch District 9. It fits in beautifully.
Yeah.
Like the way the way the aliens were. Like even the way the aliens were. Like they were prawns, for crying out loud. But they were in a township and it was dusty, and even they were dirty. The prawns, you know what I mean? It gels together, works very well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it actually doesn't make sense because like if you look at like the palace in Wakanda, it's like this full tech place type of thing.
Exactly.
And then you go to like, and it doesn't look poor. It looks very like traditional and African and things like that and festive. But it doesn't look at all like there's technology anywhere.
You would expect things to evolve. Now, if you guys really come to Africa, like come to Johannesburg, it's like things have evolved. We don't, you know, some people say we have tigers in our backyards and stuff. Yeah, sure. Yeah, my
pet tiger's at home right now.
my
actually.
Chihuahua. I named him Tiger. Yeah, that's as close as it gets, guys. Like
Right.
really, yeah. We've got zoos just like you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's no different.
No.
Yeah. The one thing that I did love is the way Andy Serkis.
Mm-hmm.
And 50 rand or whatever, $120 says that in Andy Serkis, when he was researching his accent, he picked it up. Was now our city is called Johannesburg, but he specifically said Joburg, which is what we say that.
We don't say Johannesburg.
We don't say Johannesburg. We're like, I'm going back to Joburg in the morning. That's easy. And when he said that, I was like, yeah, you go, man. Which shows you what.
Yeah, he did hectic research.
Exactly, which is brilliant. So tops up for that.
Yeah, I did. The one thing I thought was very cool though was, I don't know if you noticed, like when they were in, especially so you've got Black Panther's sister, so she's like apparently like the smartest person in the world.
Yes.
Heads up Tony Stark. Apparently you should be worried or something like that.
True, it's the African version,
right?
of Tony Stark.
But basically, like when you were inside, especially her like lab type of thing, there was house music playing. I don't know if you remember or if you noticed that.
Was it house or was it hip hop?
It was house music. Then when Michael B. Jordan's character took over Wakanda, then it changed to hip hop, which I thought was so cool because like they like fit in music.
Yeah,
so
true.
that part was very cool. Like I enjoyed how they went to like small details type of thing.
Yeah.
But basically, Black Panther was shot in Atlanta and in South Korea. So they go to South Korea for their South Korea little scene. But then for like most of the movie, they recorded in Atlanta.
All right.
Okay, guys, nice. Just that's the only thing, guys. Other than your what's it, ancestral worship.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now the cool thing with Black Panther is it actually, so it's like speaking about storyline, it continues like exactly where Captain America Civil War left off. So I don't know if you remember in Captain America Civil War, Black Panther actually, it's the first time he appears in any Marvel movie, and his father is killed by who supposedly was the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, but it wasn't. Obviously that whole thing was staged, which is you see that whole story in Civil War. But now this is like it picks up where basically T'Challa returns home, and it's like looking at how does Wakanda like cope with the loss of T'Challa's father, King T'Chaka, and if T'Challa is ready to be king of Wakanda. So it literally picks up straight off from Civil War, which they've been doing quite well, because I don't know if you've noticed, like Thor Ragnarok picked off like from Age of Ultron.
Yes.
And Civil War, obviously you don't see Thor and Hulk in it, which makes complete sense because they're doing Thor Ragnarok.
You know, it actually reminded me. I was like, oh yeah, that's true. Thor dropped off far back then already. Yeah. Oh, okay.
And then like Spider-Man also picks off straight after Civil War. So you've got Spider-Man and Spider-Man and Black Panther, which are basically the story after Civil War, and now Avengers Infinity War will pick up from there. And just to show how it will pick off, I don't know if you remember in Captain America Civil War, obviously there's the feud between Iron Man and Captain America.
Yep.
And right at the end of the movie, after they've had that fight, Iron Man says to Captain America, that shield doesn't belong to you. My father made that shield. And then you see Captain America drops the shield. So he's like, you know what, it's fine. You can have the shield. Your father did make it. That's cool. And then they leave, obviously. And then in the Avengers Infinity War trailer, you see Black Panther say, and get that man a shield.
Yeah.
So you can see it like it picks up straight after from
They
each
really
other.
match. And they've had different directors throughout the different movies, so it's been following her.
No, at Marvel, there's been some big whiteboard where they've just played like the whole storyline. No, guys, remember Thor's there. Oh yeah. Okay, we can't do that with Thor. And no, guys, remember. You see, they're
scratching this one out doesn't make sense.
No. And then another part that is cool at the end of Captain America Civil War, in one of the post-credit scenes, you see that Bucky, who's the Winter Soldier, goes to Wakanda to basically try and that he wants them to put him to sleep until they can get the stuff that Hydra put in his head out.
Right.
And then you still see like Captain America and the Black Panther speaking together. Then if you watch the end of Black Panther, so the post-credit scene of Black Panther, you see Bucky wake up and basically the stuff's out of his head, and so now it's all ready for Avengers Infinity War.
Yes.
And I also don't know if you've noticed, but in the trailer from Avengers Infinity War, it looks like the main battle takes place in Wakanda.
Yeah, in Wakanda,
yeah.
Which
So
is
that's
where
quite
a lot
cool.
of
Vibranium
is, which is...
Yeah. Now, just a side note.
But it's on the side.
It's on.
Yes.
Black Panther's bodyguards are all unstoppable ladies.
Or were they?
No, they were, man. So you see the Black Panther, and then you see his bodyguards, and they're all chicks.
Yeah, they were pretty sharp. I must admit that they were like, and even at their formations.
But like, what happened to the men?
And I'm sure they called it out, like formation B, and then you'd see like the one run forward, the others to run to the side, and then the other one would lean over.
They were cool though. They were cool, but it was like,
I'd be scared.
why would they make women?
And I mean, they would have had what is his name? Eric Killmonger. Yeah, Killmonger. They would have had his character if it wasn't for his suit. Because there was even at one point where they got him. They're holding him with their three vibranium. So it's vibranium against vibranium. But I don't know if his suit was the same as Black Panther. But the more you sort of hit it, the more it sort of bounces you back, type of thing. So.
Now, I don't know if you noticed, but the main chick, so the main warrior chick, her name is Okay, that chick. It's basically Danaya Guerrera. That isn't South African. But anyway, I don't know if you picked up, is married to, so in the film, she's married to, you know, the guy that went against Black Panther's character. It was this guy's character.
Oh, yes.
And then, so he goes against the king, but he's married to the king's like head of bodyguard type of thing.
Oh, right.
Which was weird for me, man.
Yeah, because at that point it sort of created the whole backing down thing.
Yeah.
So it's these little, it's as love story as Marvel gets.
At first you're like, no, they're not married, and then you're like, wait, why did the rhino stop for?
Yep.
And then you're like, maybe they are married.
And Lictor, yeah.
They are married. That's point, weird, man.
And she's like, I will fight for that king, and then he like backs down.
Right. Which was quite interesting.
Yeah, but like I said, that's as love story as it gets.
Oh yes, and in this movie there's no damsel in distress.
Exactly.
Which is quite refreshing.
Which is brilliant.
Especially for Ryan. Ryan hates damsel in distresses. He does.
Hated. Must be war, raw war, and it must be realistic. Come on, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's talk about special effects.
You know, if I think about it, she was freaking hardcore. I mean, the fact that her husband and she's like, I will fight for that king.
Right.
That's freaking hardcore. I respect her. Like we say in South Africa, lekker brew.
Right.
Sweet.
But I don't know if you know, so the love interest, so Black Panther's love interest, right? I haven't seen her anywhere in the Avengers Infinity War, like trailers, posters, nothing. So it doesn't look like she's going to be in Avengers Infinity War. I know that his bodyguard and his sister, but I could be wrong. I just haven't seen.
You see in the one trailer where they're all running forward. So Black Panther's got his entire
But
army.
she's not there.
Well, she's somewhere in there. Just pause it and then get a microscope and.
So guys, in Avengers Infinity War, look out for her, man.
I'm sure there's a 4K release on the trailer, so you guys can, or maybe a 16K release or something like that.
So you pause it and then like zoom in intensely, man.
Maybe one of the pixels is her face. You could recognize it by the tone or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe there's like one pixel and then another pixel underneath, and then by the shape of that pixel you can see like the shape of her face. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about special effects, right?
So these guys, not too much to say, but except that, so my favorite guys did did the effects, and there was a lot of effects. Because it was all set extensions.
But you know what's funny? So you don't sit and watch credits for any other movie but a Marvel movie. Why? Because you know there's an end scene. So we obviously sat there for the credits, and then you literally see the special effects companies, and I was counting, and I'm sure there were over 10, weren't there?
Yep.
Like there was something insane. I was like 1, 2, 3.
4.
Oh look, there's Harlem.
It's
6,
a lot of work, but
7.
Yeah, it really is a lot of work that they got to do. So, and they got to do it so quickly. So, but I'm pretty sure ILM like headed a lot of it up, especially with their involvement with the Marvel movies and stuff like that.
And there were obviously a lot of, like as you said, sets extensions.
I like what they did with all that stuff, but like I said, the thing that didn't gel for me, which if I was doing the effects, is that like the space shuttle flying across Africa, the grasslands. It's just like, okay, I feel like I'm watching a sci-fi, like some weird alien.
You know what I think it is? They're saying like obviously Wakanda hid itself from the rest of the world.
Yes, because that camouflage.
Yeah, so Wakanda evolved and like moved on and became like extremely like technologically advanced. But then like the rest of Africa didn't. So like it left the rest of Africa behind. But that's still, I still like, and this is the other thing I said to Ryan, was like, this didn't make sense for me, where like, you have, so there were scenes where Black Panther and his chick were walking in Wakanda, but like the city center type of thing. So they weren't in the palace, they were actually like walking around.
Yes.
Like,
like wasn't it sort of where they lived type of thing?
But like for me, like he's the king. Do you understand? Now in any nation, when the king, you have like a huge escorts and people are all like looking. I know he's the king of the nation, but you still have people doing that. And here it was like no one bothered, like no one cared. Like they were even like walking in front, they were continuing. For me it was just like,
Greetings, Your Majesty.
Like for me, there should be like people running to take photos, because you know they are Wakanda. They do have phones. They do have like more than just they have holograms and stuff. So for me, that didn't make sense. How like him and there were only like 2 soldiers behind him, and they were like a little bit of a far distance. Like for me, that was the only thing. Like, okay, is there no like?
But do you think it was okay? I suppose them not being friendly though bugs me. But the fact that they weren't worried was because the nations were all in agreement. You know, all these different nations were
not worried, as in, you know, like, so like, for example, let's take Britain, because that's the easiest example. If like the Queen or if Prince William goes anywhere, like people will make a big deal about it. Like they're not just gonna go, oh look, there's Prince William, or not even notice him. You know, they're like, like for them, if they didn't want to be noticed, they'd have to go undercover and like put on other faces and things like that.
Just put on a moustache.
Wow, I know, maybe hats and glasses. But yeah, like there was no camouflage. Like you could clearly see it was them, and yet there was no buzz. There was no like, there was nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like for me, that was the only thing. Like, really, like for me, that wasn't realistic. If I can put it like that.
I actually agree with you.
Yeah,
definitely.
But it was a cool movie. It was a different movie. It was a very different movie. So it was like Thor. But for me, okay, here's where the rubber hits the road, right? So I spoke to people, and because we had seen Thor, and then Black Panther came out, and we didn't go see it immediately. But I like asked people, so compared to Thor, which one's better? And people were like, Black Panther, it's funnier.
It's just as funny.
Yeah, and when I watched it, honestly, I was like, it was very good. But for me, Thor topped it. Like for me, the best Marvel movie so far, obviously other than Avengers Infinity War, I haven't seen it though, is Thor. Like I love Thor Ragnarok specifically. Like the other Thors are like inline type of thing. But like Thor, and for me Thor was funny. Like for me, Thor, you were laughing when you shouldn't be laughing, because like someone's about to die and you're killing yourself laughing because they just made a joke.
Like in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's just like, oh wait.
Wait.
Hold on.
Yeah, and that was so funny.
I'm not doing anything.
Right? Black Panther, there was humor. Obviously, with all Marvel movies, there's humor. It's one of Marvel's traits.
Yeah.
But for me, Black Panther did not beat Thor Ragnarok, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, I think like the whole world is against me when I say that, because like if you even look at the box office, like, for me it was. But for me, in my personal opinion, Thor is my best Marvel movie so far. I loved how, you know what I enjoyed with Thor was the whole creative. Like, they turned everything upside down, basically. Like, they changed completely.
Yeah.
And they hadn't done that before in any Marvel movie. Like, Thor was the first. Obviously, Black Panther, they also did, like, it was very new and very different. But for me, it just followed on from Thor type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, it wasn't a bad movie. Just didn't like the ancestral worship and the racism. It's the only thing.
Right.
But otherwise, it was a very good movie. Obviously, watch it. You know, it's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You need to watch it. Otherwise, in Avengers Infinity War, you're going to be like, what?
Yes, well, that's what I was told. I was like, guys, I think I'm going to miss Black Panther.
Yeah, I said...
I'm not going to have time to watch it because, you know, the Infinity War is being released. And they were like, no, you have to watch it. I was like, okay.
No, I was like, Ryan, the main battle takes place in Wakanda. You have to watch it, otherwise you're not going to know what's happening. Yeah.
Peach Posh, and then I watched it. I was like, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't a bad movie, but Avengers Infinity War is the best movie of all time, man.
Yes.
And guys, please remember that Thanos demands your silence, so don't go spoiling alert. And yeah.
Definitely.
We look forward to doing a show on Avengers Infinity War without any spoilers.
Yes.
But yeah, it was very good. Yeah. So, guys, this brings us to the end, sadly, of another show.
For me, Ryan.
And for me, Sesh.
We have to say, we're excited to go to see
yeah, peace out. We're going to watch Infinity Wars.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
See you next time.